Okay. So can everyone see the presentation screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. You want to go to the next one, Nick? Oh, that's just about us. Everyone knows that I've been around for a little while now, like over 2 decades. And we focus on helping people so they can either starting, scaling up, or pivoting their business. So looking at effective ways and affordable ways so they've got more, so they can keep control. They can use leverage of whatever it is, whether it's other people's time, systems, or whatever, and they get a good return on investment. So it's just using the right platforms, and then we find the right people that can do the job for them and help them. So that's what we do. And we started these quickies just to help you from saving time, money, and all those headaches that we go through as business owners. And if you drop off, it's the same logon details. And so, yeah, we just go back. And next week, Nikki's going to be sharing some simple tools to make your life easier online. Just little things for social media, for imaging, for little bits and pieces. And most of those are free. So they're just little things that just make life heaps easier. And okay, today we've got the top 5 reasons promotional advertising fails, and our guest presenter is David McMahon. You can always tell David because he's got the hat on, okay? He owns Crocodile Marketing, and they're based in Southport on the Gold Coast. And he's been running Marketing for Business Owners Meetup, which is a weekly thing. Used to be a weekly thing. Now he does it twice a week. And he's been doing that. He's doing it for what, 5 years? How long have you been doing it? Can't hear you. You got him muted, Nick.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm all caught. Yes, Dave, it's been 5 years, mate.
5 years. And how many in the meetup group?
We're just pushing over 1,000.
Yeah. So, and he does events in Brisbane as well. So after David runs through his slides, we're going to have some Q&A so you can ask him about those bits and pieces. So, grab your phone, turn on your camera, hold it up to the QR code, and say something nice. Share the love. Okay, and we'd appreciate it, and then other people will see that you're keeping up with what's going on. So they might just go, oh, well, they're a bit more switched on than the other guy. Let's deal with them. Okay, next, Nick. Okay, about David. As a marketing consultant and presenter, David wrestles with sales and marketing technology so his clients don't have to. Working with many different companies like 1300 Rubbish, O'Brien Glass, New Flow, Wyndham Vacations, to a heap of small businesses. He offers a variety of services, including inbound coaching. He's the HubSpot rep for Southeast Queensland. So if you need to know anything about HubSpot, or you want to set up a good CRM system, and Nick and I use it, and the free version is great, but there's a heap of further expansions that you can do. He organises SEO, Google AdWords, Facebook and LinkedIn advertising. And he does that in order to attract new customers and boost your sales. So what do we got, Nick? David, that was a great presentation. Thank you. Any questions, anyone? Good. I got a smile on your face. It's Monday morning. We're awake now. Okay. You want to pass the host over?
So I can take the share.
You've got it, haven't you?
Cool. Coming in.
Yep, got it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for that, Dave. It was a wonderful intro, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to be here with you guys to sort of share a few tips and probably some insights into why I often find working with clients, particularly the small business owners, that their promotional advertising fails. So this is sort of a bit of a rundown, a bit of a thought for you to sort of think about. Now, at the end of the day, advertising is hard, but sticking out at the sea of sameness, it's harder. And that's typically one of the things that I often see people falling into the trap of, is just doing the same old. And we forget to really understand what it is that makes you unique in your overall world. And let's get really clear about it, is this, that you started a business simply because you are an expert, you have a thing that you're passionate about, you're very true, and you understand. And it's now about getting that out to a greater audience, and hence the whole reason why we're in business. So number one reason that I often find people falling into the trap of is that you're thinking you need to be an advertising guru or consultant. And this is where you end up doing the courses on Facebook, and you learn so much about it that you end up moving away from being the business owner or being the expert of that, and you try to become something else. Now, in truth, you only need to know enough to get started, to start getting the results. And once you've got the framework and the foundations working for you to get those initial results, you will have the know-how that you can outsource it, or you can have your staff and your staff personnel to do it for you. And that's probably one of the big roadblocks that I often see people when they start looking at, what do you need to do? And they'll do the courses. So I'm always passionate, if you are trying to do this yourself, yes, do the courses. But often what we need to sort of understand is that the likes of Facebook and Google are constantly changing. So it's one of the reasons why I often find that, a course that might be, say, 12, 18 months old, it is outdated. And that's one of the downsides to doing all of this yourself. So just be very clear about how much do you need to do in order to start getting those campaigns going.
Dave, can I just ask,
yeah, sure.
Can you just talk up a whisker more, because you got a little bit of background noise there?
Have I? Hang on, just let me check something here. I shouldn't have that, but it's not to say.
Just talk up a whisker, that's all.
No, I think it's because I'm on the... Is that better?
Talk a bit more.
Can you hear me on that channel?
Yeah, we
Yeah, that's a million times better.
Sorry, that's a million times better?
Yes.
No. Well, that wasn't then.
Okay. Is that channel, I think I'm on the wrong mic. That's the reality.
Okay, we'll just talk up a little bit and let's do it.
Okay, so where we're talking here is number two, having no system. It's all in your head. And this is one of the problems that as a business owner, we're wanting to leverage. Now, there's only one expert for your business, and that's you. So not having a system is fundamentally one of the roadblocks that's going to stop you in building out that promotional campaign. So one of the key elements that I really encourage people to do is to think about a system is a guide that explains everything on how the system works. Now, this tool, if you're thinking system guide, it's too much. Rather think playbook. Rather, the playbook is just needing enough to explain for your team to be able to work together. And that's one of the elements of thinking, not to create the system, the whole insight to how your business and your promotions run, but rather think more about a team playbook that just explains enough for them individually to work together. So of course, number 3 would have to be your message. Now this is using a headline that doesn't portray a positive emotion. Often what I find is people are using fear and guilt or trying to use that blame element. Long term, these tend to attract negative customers. So really the pro tip here is to use an emotion that entices your customer. And that's very much about, entice me why I should come to your event, entice me why I should pick up the phone and call you. And it's a different attitude, and it works very powerfully, particularly on social media in that sense. Coming into number 4, wrong medium. When we choose the wrong medium, this is the wrong channel. Now, this is where it helps to really understand who is your buyer persona and where do they go to read and watch. It's very much a key. So the solution here is take advantage of technology. There are billions of people online. Google ads, Facebook ads, they are still great places to start. It's just all about fine-tuning the audience that you're putting your message to. So that's very much a key. And then of course, our last number 5 is avoiding failure. There's no investment of time and dollars. And I always come back to the remembering of when I put my first ad together when I started a business, and it was a newspaper ad. And it was only for $300, but it took me 6 weeks, the number of times I went over the same ad. And it was that fear of failure that I was going to spend my $300 and nothing was going to happen. And the reality is that when I did spend and place the ad, nothing did happen. I didn't get the phone calls. But it's until you start putting in the investment, until you start putting in the time and building the reserves within your system, that you're going to start learning. So we have to fail in order to understand what's happening with our target audience. So often here, and I always come back to the premise of years ago, I met a wonderful business coach who really brought me into the concept of, and follows the concept of the richest man in Babylon, of paying yourself first. Take 10% of your turnover and pay it to yourself. The whole point of you being in business, and your business is there to serve you. So if you're not paying yourself first, what's the point of being there? But where he really got me to sort of start thinking was to start looking at allocating a budget every time I receive income, to take 20% of that and put it into a growth account. And that a growth account is there to invest in skills, my skills, invest in paying for advice that from experts, from people to whom I need to sort of do something in order to leverage the business. And of course, that money then is available to be used for growth actions, whether that be advertising, whether that be you going out doing networking, running an event. But if you don't have the money, you're not going to have the ability in order to invest more into your business. So that's very much the 5 reasons, David, and I'm probably happy to take any questions if you guys can sort of hear me still.
Yes. So, so when you placed your first ad, before that, you were a marketing manager for a company, and you'd spend heaps, right? But when it came, because that was someone else's money.
Yes.
So, but when it came to your money, and that's the same as we find in business, it's my money, and you think, oh, well, I do it, and so that's a good way of breaking it down. Apart from paying yourself first, but the next 20%. into getting the right advice and doing all, you know, that's good. Any other questions, guys? Got a question for David? Where's that screen gone, Nick? I've lost it.
No, I've just turned my screen off, so I can bring it back.
Yeah.
Just as a matter of interest, The Richest Man in Babylon, I would implore everybody to read that book. Everybody.
It's only this thick. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only 40 pages. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's fine.
Sorry,
I have to find it.
somebody's taken away my ability to share screen.
Can't see anything.
I thought I had a copy just. Oh, it must be in the cupboard. Anyway,
I have a question.
it's not real thick anyway. And I've got the audio for it too, and the audio is good. Because really, The Richest Man in Babylon, if you go back, is just like today, where slaves have slaves, you know. So there's people that own a business that are a slave to their business, and they employ people who are slaves to that slave, you know, because at the end of the day, we're slaves to paying the tax man, aren't we? So anyway, I thought that was a good point, and it never really struck me until I read that, and well, probably didn't strike me until I read it about the third or fourth time, and then goes, that's just like today's, you know, when they're building the wall and the guys are carting rocks and stuff, and then and they said that slaves can have slaves, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also just found that, you know, it's all very easy, you know, as the money is coming in and it's there, it's cash in the bank, that if you're not sort of, for me, if I didn't put away that 20% and put it somewhere and really setting up that account, which basically says, okay, this is money that is to be spent to grow the business. And it just got me to really start thinking more strategically how to optimize that money, as opposed to just having the money come in and just paying the bills, whatever is sort of going out. So it was a big game changer for me when I started the whole world of business.
And the point about at least having, as a business owner, a basic understanding of the marketing principles behind the platform that people are using or going to do on your behalf. That's all you really need. And so that you don't get blindsided by someone, you know, because there's a lot of experts and we're getting more and more of them, and a lot of them are crooks, you know. So I think that's a good point.
That's right.
Yeah. Jeff, you got anything to add, mate?
No, not really. No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got The Richest Man in Babylon. I read it years ago, but it's still on the shelf, so I better get it out again.
Yeah, you'll knock it over in an hour, so you'll be right.
No, that's if I can stay awake.
Boy.
I've had trouble reading these days. I tend to go to sleep when I start to read.
Oh, we'll just do a page at a time and let you take your month, or whatever, something like that. How's Aldwin?
Hello. Yes, I have a question, actually. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, David. Very much enjoyed that. I have a question actually about LinkedIn Live, which is a fairly new feature. I don't know if you know much about LinkedIn Live, but I've applied to do LinkedIn Lives and I haven't heard back yet. It's been about a week. Do you know anything about that, or how you can maybe improve your chances?
Pretty well what it is the LinkedIn Live is being rolled out slowly. It's no different. We're typically finding with a lot of the LinkedIn tools, fun things that they're bringing them into beta release, but then making it available to everyone, just they seem to take a long time. And you will have noticed the same concept with creating an event on LinkedIn. When it was first announced that it was available, it was probably the best part of 3 months before even I got access to it. So it is the same with the LinkedIn Live, and I know that they were working on the same principle, that it was going to take a while for it to roll out.
A while.
Yeah.
It came out in
Well,
2017. It's definitely passed a while.
well, it is.
Is that a paid thing, or can a free user of LinkedIn use it?
I when I was reading and
You
just
have to
sort of,
put in an application for it.
yeah, it is a process by which they are taking it out slowly, as probably is the only way I can sort of describe it, is that with a lot of the features, they tend to publicize it. Now, when they publicize the live element, even the ability to do a video, there was no mention of it being a paid service or that you had to be on a paid service. Rather, it was just, it's going to come, and it's going to come when they are ready.
Right. Yeah. So from what I understand, I think because I have a free account and I've applied for it, and I looked online, I can see some people in America have been approved for LinkedIn, and so I guess we're just behind. Maybe we are 2 years behind, Nikki. You know, it's really taking a while to get to Australia. So, but yeah, I just really want to get on there and do lives. It's a bit frustrating. But anyway, these things.
Well, it is, and I can't give you the rationale behind it, other than that it's not unusual with the rollouts of LinkedIn. And I've seen it both with their, with their video capabilities, where you could where you could do a video, you could upload a video right through to the invitation of events. We also saw the same thing with even the advertising tools when they launched that beginning of this year.
Got it.
I mean, it is owned by Microsoft, so what do you expect? They just want to overcomplicate things and just bring out another version for the sake of bringing out another version and hide everything in a different spot. Yeah.
Yes. Now, one last question. I heard that LinkedIn have stopped the capability of being able to extract email addresses of all your contacts on LinkedIn. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, I hate that because I've got 30,000 people there and I didn't extract their emails. So what a bugger.
So yeah, now all of those features got taken out a long time, a fair while back. Pretty well now, if you're wanting to hunt down email addresses, you pretty well have to start with the concept of connecting with the person and then doing a search and see if you can find their email address publicly. But yes,
Right.
for all intents and purposes, you
Why
can.
isn't it listed anymore for anyone? I mean, any of your friends. You can't see it.
So basically, they've gone with the, so effectively, you can still set the trigger to make your email address available to your connections, but you have to go into the settings and basically opt out or opt in to make your email address public to your connections. It's just one of those sort of things. So they've just gone in and they just said, right, okay, we're just going to stop all of this. But if you want to make your email address available, you can opt into it. So if you were to do an extract of all of your email, contacts now, you will typically find that some you might get access to some of them.
Right. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Was there anything else, guys? Any other questions?
Are we doing a group photo? Nikki, do you do group photos at the end, or do you just sneakily take them
Not
while
at the
we're
moment, Dave. No.
sneakily take them while we're
Sneakily. I've just done a screenshot.
Okay, great.
So does everyone want to wave and then we'll do it again?
Yeah.
Hang on one sec. I'll just go.
Turn my,
Hang on. I'll just.
You want me to turn off the screen?
I know, because I can see everyone. So wave. That's it. Thank you. I've got a hand in front of my face, so that's cool. Okay, Nick, what's on next? Do you want to? So who's got the host? David, you want to pass it back to Nick, please?
Yep, all done.
All right, I reclaimed it. It's okay.
Or when you've got your hand up.
Oh, that was for before, so I'm all good now.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so what have we got, Nick? Where are we? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've done the Q&A. So David runs a thing every Tuesday morning and Thursday morning. Tuesday's marketing and Thursday sales, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So those links to learn more about that, we'll put in the follow-up email that comes out with the recap of this. Okay, with the link for the recording for this. So the Recession Buster Masterclasses, for those that are on, you've got access to both those, and they're free, and they're from mental blank, Brian, Martin International, and there's the link there to grab them. So you just hold your phone up and you can grab that link, and you've got access to both those. One is about defining and marketing directly to your ideal customer. And the other one is about, it's a bit like your mindset and how to optimize that. So they're two, where's that link? I can't even copy and paste that. Sorry, I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview on the two of them. So the Business Whisperer did them. That's Perry Martin. So the two are how now it's your turn to learn how Steve Jobs, get out of the way, grew Apple's loyal followers, and that's the key message behind one. And the other one is decide like Richard Branson, how to overcome overwhelm and reduce stress, so you can be a lot more effective in business. So those are the two. So, and I've been through both of them, and they're good, aren't they, Brian?
They're extremely valuable.
Yeah. So Brian's one of the head coaches for Martin International. So he deals with people all over the place, don't you, Brian? UK and
New Zealand, Australia. Yep.
Yeah. And what's the next thing you've got there, Nick? What's the next screen? Because we're going to jump off shortly. And we'd love your feedback, but I want you to try and get across when you're asking for referrals, I mean for reviews, for follow-up. A lot of people think, oh, I'm not going to give a 5-star review because they weren't perfect. That wasn't 100%, you know, because no one can be perfect, and give 5 stars. But mathematically, if you can get across to them that if it's a satisfaction rate of better than 80%, that's 5 stars. Okay. Whereas a lot of people in the back of their mind, and I know Nikki's grandmother does the same thing. Oh, no one's worth 5 stars,
They think it's at 100%.
Yeah, because she's thinking 5 stars 100%, whereas 5 stars is a satisfaction rate of more than 80%, right? Whereas 1 star is 0 to 20%. You know what I mean? So if you can get that across when you're asking for a review or the feedback, that'll automatically bring up your average star rating. If you keep that in the back of your mind, because a lot of people think, 5 stars, they're not worth 5 stars. Yeah, well, we can give each other 5 stars. In fact, I've given you a review already, Aldwin. So
Yes, and vice versa.
yeah.
Win-win.
And Jane, we have 2.
Yep. Yep.
And Jeff, we have. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the last slide, Nick? What's the next one? Before we jump off. Oh, and that's next week. So Nick is just going to run through some tools that she uses all the time, just to make life easier. And then the week after that, I'm trying to find someone to jump on and talk about security for your desktop, your iPhone, your phone and your tablet, to talk about the smart way of doing things, because with the increase in internet hacking and theft and stuff, I think it's pretty critical. Do you know anyone, David?
I probably have a few that you could probably chat to, but I'll send you an email.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk to my IT guy and get him, because he probably knows someone. But anyway, if you know someone, you just get them to contact me, and I'll see whether they're a good fit. And the next slide is Nick. Oh, and this is Nikki's tips and tools on easy online business solutions. Just go to tips and tools. And because you're on the Quickie thingy, you can join our Facebook group. It's closed, and Nikki puts some good stuff up there all the time. And make sure you follow us as a bit of a thank you. Is there any other questions? Done?
Not today.
Thank you, David. And
My pleasure.
And thanks for helping people. So you wrestle with technology so they don't have to. Is that right? You wrestle with crocodiles wrestling with. Got that? Okay. Cheers. Okay. Keep smiling. Have a great week. And I hope you all got something out of it. I did. And see you next Monday. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
week.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.